You're working hard every day trying to move up and get better. Whether you're an employee or employer, you're looking for that spark, that mentor to help you to your next level of success. You're invited to the Ocala Leadership Conference Friday, January 30th at Meadowbrook in Ocala. You'll hear in person from some of the top leadership experts and speakers in the country. John Maxwell, Ryan Leake, John Gordon, and more. Learn how some of the most successful CEOs improve their decision-making, how to find, develop, and retain talented employees, and boost morale, leading to more productivity and profitability, and the opportunity to network with them and other leaders in our community. Friday, January 30th at Meadowbrook in Ocala. Tickets are on sale now and going fast. Use the code COFFEETALK and get $100 off your ticket price. Invest in yourself, invest in your future. Go to OcalaLeadershipConference.com.
People need an income that's guaranteed to them.
If you lose money to taxes, you're never getting that money back.
You need to get serious about adding some lower risk.
Greed. I don't like greed.
The thing to be afraid of, honestly, is the thing that we're not thinking of, the Black Swan event.
There's a tsunami coming. Bye.
Welcome to Retirement Coffee Talk with Charisse Rivers.
Just coffee talk.
There's a lot of noise, a lot of chatter. Who do you listen to? Who do you not listen to? You have to stay focused.
A fun and informative look at the issues of wealth, retirement, and protecting your life savings.
These advisors out there that were trained to sell, and have all these fees. They don't want to talk about this product, so they make less money.
And now, Retirement Coffee Talk with Charisse Rivers.
Hello again, and welcome to Retirement Coffee Talk with Charisse Rivers at Zinnia Wealth. Online, of course, as always, ZinniaWealth.com, ZINNIA Wealth.com. This is a show where we talk about getting you the help that you need for retirement. You've saved all these years. You've done a great job with that. And now you look at that number and you say, it's a great number. Is it enough? And how do I make it last? Well, okay, this is the show that talks about that. And Charisse Rivers is the one who guides us through. Charisse, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I did my first 5K of the year, and I hobbled through it. Literally.
You don't hobble through anything.
I do. Something was wrong with my foot.
If you're hobbling, you're on crutches and you're hobbling in front of somebody because they got to beat them.
I will crawl. Trust me. I will try my darndest.
Yes, you will.
Yep.
But hey, we got our event coming up this Friday. We are so close now. We've been talking about the Ocala Leadership Conference, and it is coming up this coming Friday, the 30th of January. This is an opportunity. If you haven't heard about it, we're bringing in lots of great speakers to Meadowbrook Church on Friday, the 30th from 9 to 5. Charisse, you're the guiding force behind all this. These are a lot of the people that you have used as speakers and mentors and people who've inspired you. So you're kind of giving back and saying, hey, these are great people.
Yes. And one of the biggest challenges that I hear personally from leaders and other entrepreneurs is developing, honestly, strong teams, right? Mm-hmm. It's challenging. And this event is exactly for that, how to manage teams. If you're working for a company, if you're an owner of a company, it is for everyone. And this event, just so you know, it's not an event to motivate for motivation's sake. It's about investing in your people and giving your leaders and your emerging leaders tools and honestly language and perspective that they can take back to their organizations like immediately, not in a week, not in 2 weeks, but immediately. So this event is, we have John Maxwell, #1 leadership speaker in the world. Like, goodness gracious, if you don't know John Maxwell, you need to be here. We have Ryan Leake. He's an up-and-coming, I call him our mini John Maxwell, but he just does so many amazing things. And he wrote a book called Complicated People. It's awesome. John Gordon, who has particularly saved my office on many occasions because we use his books and it helps bring more positivity to the culture and so much more. He's going to be giving you guys some giveaways while he's there. Chad Robichaud, big military dude. If you haven't listened to his podcast, it's one of the top podcasts. Damon West, his story of addiction and going to jail and everything. It's empowering. It's one of Ed Milet's buddies, if you know who that is. Shantae Lowe, who is an Olympic athlete. These speakers are going to knock your socks off and bring it to Ocala. So the fact that we could get all of them in one day is outstanding. And we're super excited about it. It is just so many days away, barely less than a week away. And it's going to be rocking the universe here in Ocala, first ever event. And you don't want to miss it. You'll be hearing lots about it afterwards and wishing you were there.
All right. Meadowbrook Church on Friday, this coming Friday, January the 30th, 9 to 5. And to get tickets, go to OcalaLeadershipConference.com. And when you go there, you'll see a big banner that says Get Tickets. Click on that. That'll bring you to a page, and the first thing you're going to see is enter code. And if you put in Coffee Talk there, you get $100 off your ticket. So it's going to be a great event, and I think it's great for people who want to be inspired, who are looking for some inspiration for the new year. It's also great for people who are employers to help inspire their employees. It's also great for you as an employee if you're looking for a mentor, because you're going to get these great speakers, but you're also going to be able to mix and talk and maybe even develop some relationships with some people in our community that are in those kind of positions that really have influence. So I think that's really important too. So January the 30th, this coming Friday, 9 to 5, Meadowbrook Church. Get your tickets at OcalaLeadershipConference.com. All right, so as we talk about money, people say, well, what's your plan for retirement? I'm going to win the lottery. Okay, all right, there you go. We all want to win the lottery, right? Okay, so, there was billions of dollars out there sometimes in the lottery, but I got a lottery winner here that we're going to discuss today. And she's a 20-year-old woman from Canada, and she won a lottery called Win for Life. So what she gets for winning is a choice. She chooses either getting $1 million, and they'll probably take taxes out of that, or $1,000 a week for life. Now, remember, she's 20 years old, okay? So she chose to get the $1,000 a week for life. Okay. And this is a talk show host. She's a financial podcaster. Her name is Shay Moore. Shay says she made the wrong decision.
She had the choice between taking the lump sum or $1,000 a week for life. She chose the $1,000 a week. Now, it's going to take 19 years for $1,000 a week to amount to $1 million. So me, at this big age, I'm taking that $1 million lump because $52,000 a year means I'ma still have to work. I think I can make something shake with that lump.
I see her point. You get $750,000. That's a big thing, that pays for houses, that pays for education, pays for cars, pays for a lot of stuff. And $1,000 a week, though, think about that. She's 20 years old. So at age 40, she'll have got $1 million. At age 60, she'll get $2 million. At age 80, she'll make $3 million. So she's looking at a long-term view here. What would you say to somebody who just won a lottery like that? It's not a major lottery, but, $1,000 a week, that takes some of the edge off. What would you say? Should she take the lump sum or should she take the weekly thing?
Well, she's young. Yeah. Right? And I think there are a lot of dynamics you have to look at. It's just not cookie cutter. So getting to know where she's at in life and what her goals are and that kind of thing. But if you were closer to retirement, I would probably potentially say take the income. But being young, she should be working, number one. She shouldn't be spending that $52,000 that'll come to her a year. She could reinvest it. So I'm probably going to say take the lump sum because $1 million in 10 years, based on math, you can turn it to $2 million. And then 10 years from there, that $2 million, you could turn it to $4 million. And if she's 20 and now and she's in her late 40s, and let's say it's only $4 million and she takes 4% from $4 million.
That's pretty good.
That's $160,000 that she could probably live on the rest of her life. Easy money. Okay. Right. And she delayed it another 10 years because she's working hard and saving. So I'm going to have to go with the lump sum because there are a lot of things you can do with it but here's the problem. You've all seen the lottery stories. When you take the lump sum, what we end up finding out is that we are really bad with our money because it's money we never had. We don't go to a financial advisor and it's all spent. You end up giving it to away friends and you party and you buy this big house and you can't afford the taxes over time. To take the lump sum at 20 years old, as long as you're not going to go buy the Ferrari and you're going to be responsible and you're going to reinvest it, then I say yes. If you're somebody who doesn't have good habits, I'm going to have to say no.
What 20-year-old do you think has that kind of discipline? Probably
Very
not.
few.
Yeah.
Only 1 out of 10, I would say, would have that kind of discipline. So it's open-ended.
But that whole discussion there is kind of similar to the retirement discussion because we do want to think long-term in certain instances and say, I mean, delayed gratification in some cases. I mean, not long ago we talked about doing a IRA to Roth conversion. That's something that you will benefit from later, those kind of things. And we say, we're going to put some money into a long-term care policy for later in our life. So there is a certain amount of delayed gratification when it comes to our retirement planning. But at the same time, we've been waiting 30, 40 years for this. It's time to get paid off in retirement.
Right. And let's say she's 60 and the market didn't do so good and she still of that $1 million has $4 million.
Yeah.
She can still go put $1 million into an investment that will give her a $50,000 check.
Yeah.
Right? Possibly for the rest of her life. She might have to delay it a few years. And now she's got the other $3 million. And it doesn't change when you are retiring. Let's say you retire and you have Social Security and you save $2 million. We very well might say, hey, let's, of the $2 million, put 500 in this income producer so you can have that income stream for the rest of your life that will never run out for you and your spouse's life. And then we can invest the rest, right? Because that's how people spend more money. When the checks keep coming in and they don't stop, you will spend it versus taking chunks of money off your investment and then having to deal with risk and volatility and then being afraid to spend it. So this plan has to, I would say, work out perfectly. And it's just not an investment plan. It's an income plan. You got to combine those two together. If you're just doing an investment plan, you're just working with a basic stock jock that's just saying, hey, we're going to try to average you 7% for the next 10 years and double your money. And you want to take 6% out of your portfolio? No problem. No, that's not what you want to do. This is why the number one fear in retirement is running out of money, because those things happen. And those people that were working with those advisors either ran out of money or has nearly ran out of money. And now they have to live off less. And that's not what you want to do in retirement.
Well, I think that whether it's a lottery that comes your way, it may not come your way. For most of us, it won't come our way. But what might come your way is a windfall. Parents pass away, you may get a house. You may get a certain, amount of money. You get an inheritance. You get an IRA. You get a 401k, something like that. And then it's time to get some advice on what to do and how to do with that money. And that's important to have someone like Charisse on your side that you can say, okay, what are my options here? And there's usually some tax options there that you can look through to talk to Charisse and see if that's a good fit for you to talk about your retirement and have that person kind of on your side in your phone that you can call when these things happen. Give Charisse a call, 833-368-3680, 833-368-3680, or online at zinniawealth.com.
Randy, you do need to know that if anybody's going to win the lottery, it should be me. You know why? I would be such a good steward of that money. Like, I would make that money double, triple, quadruple, and I would put it in the hands of people who really need it. Like, I would just love to win the lottery so I can give so much of it away, but also continue to compound the growth on it. I mean, that would just honestly be a cool thing. I wouldn't go buy a new house. I wouldn't buy a new car, honestly. I might go on a train ride for 2 weeks or something, but I wouldn't spend it.
You're like my friend Mike. Mike says to me, I would be such a good rich guy. I was born to be a rich man.
Oh, it's so funny. I got to meet him.
All right. Okay. So one of the other things about going out there and finding these stories about retirement and finances and things like that is when you talk to somebody who's gone through it and you see their wisdom on the whole thing. And so somebody wrote into MSN and they said, okay, so I retired a number of years ago. And if I were to have to do it today, this is what I would tell you that I did wrong. And he had 3 things that he said he did wrong. So he retired before 60. Okay, he was in his 50s. So he said, I had to self-fund my health care for a number of years. And boy, that was more expensive than I thought. He said, I thought that Social Security was going to be enough to handle my monthly expenses. It wasn't. Here's my biggest miss. Number 3, unexpected expenses. The house repairs, the car repairs, a trip, they turned out to be budget busters, in his words, meaning he had to cut back his lifestyle. So a number of these things he kind of got wrong. Are these some of the things that you see that people come in, they've already retired, and they go, Sharice, I'm in a bit of a fix here. Can you help me out? Are these common things that you see?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People make mistakes all the time with the health insurance. Sometimes they leave their employer plan too early. Sometimes they get an advantage plan over a supplement or vice versa. And really walking the walk with our clients on healthcare is a big, big bonus for them and for us, because we can show you how to save money. We can show you how to use it appropriately, show you the different plans that are out there. Because if you leave your job and then you have to self-fund your insurance for the next few years, we need to find the right plan for you, right? And or if you relieve your job and you get the wrong insurance plan because you don't understand Medicare and how this works, it could be a derailing cost to you, which is a big hazard in my book. So yeah, we want to make sure of that. Social Security, knowing when to collect Social Security, this is a big question. This is the one big question that's always first and right in the front when people come and see us. Should I take it at 62, Sharice? Should I take it at 67? Should I wait to 70? And that's when we work up and ink up our income plan for people to show you, well, if you take it early, this is what it looks like. If you take it later, this is what it looks like, et cetera, which I think is a big moving target. So making sure you do that right. But I love this because the biggest expenses that he's talking about were the unexpected expenses that a lot of people don't talk about. And I'm going to tell you about a client who recently came in. We've been working with them for, nearly 10 years. And we've always believed in how do we create these income plans and try to make sure these clients don't ever run out of money and then have money for long-term care and a legacy, right? And sometimes we have clients that we create this plan, but they have these unexpected expenses that are heavier than we have ever imagined, right? And where they're having to pull chunks and chunks of money out of their portfolio. And so this one couple is always something. The chunk here, plus the income that we're giving them. And I recently had a hard conversation with them and, I had to document it. I was like, listen, we have the incomes coming out and I want you to spend all your money on your last breath. But if your mom lived to 102 and you're 73 right now, you got a long ways to go. And based on our income plan, if you're taking this extra chunk of money, it is showing you based on this rate of return. And if the inflation is what it is right now, that this money's going to run out in your 80s. And, how does that make you feel? And it's like, well, we need it. We have to put this stuff into our house. And, there's more trips we want to go on. So they're overspending what they saved. And I fear people running out of money, but we're at least having the conversation and then letting them know, because we want people to really spend their money. But we don't want to get it so close that if you had lived to 100 years old and you run out at 85, we don't want that to happen. But it's our job. It's sometimes a tough road to hoe as a financial advisor. But my job is to show you these things, remind you of these things, especially if you're overspending. So I get it. Unexpected expenses happen, but also overspending, period, because there's wants that are larger than ever expected, really can derail a retirement portfolio. So I haven't had to have a conversation like that, I'll tell you, in years. But this is why we're doing the math with our clients and we're checking their income plans or checking their investment plans. So they know what the outlook potentially could be depending if things keep going down the same route.
Yep. When you retire, that doesn't mean that there won't be any car repairs or the roof won't leak or the hot water heater won't go out. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. And
teeth. Sometimes you need teeth. And if you want the good teeth, you're going to pull $50,000 all day out of your pocket, right? And so you have to add those things in.
You say that, and I thought $50,000. There's one person that I work with here, and he's in his early 50s, and he had the veneer thing done a long time ago, and now it's got to all be done again. And he said $50,000. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
I don't even know who that is. You have to tell me one day.
I will. All right. But yeah, it's the unexpected expenses will continue in retirement. We've got to have, I don't know if we call it a slush fund or we have some kind of a place where we can go get that money. And if that money's not there, that's when the problems begin. And that's where you start saying, okay, honey, we can't go on this trip this year. And that's not what we want for you in your retirement years. Give Charisse a call. Let's build all of that kind of stuff into your retirement plan. The stuff that you know is there, the stuff that you want to do, and the stuff that is not there that you know is probably coming, but you got to have an allotment for that. 833-368-3680. 833-368-3680 or online, ZinniaWealth.com, ZINNIA Wealth.com. There's a gold box on the website. It says complimentary retirement consultation. If you click on that box, you'll be on your way. And let's get a date on a calendar and talk about your retirement and literally get something down on paper. Let's actually do the math on your retirement. 833-368-3680. All right, Charisse, I did an interview with a country music star one time. He comes into the radio studio, and I said, how are things going? He says, I'm a little tired today. I was out at the Waffle House last night at 3 in the morning. And I go, what? And he goes, I was looking for the throwdown. And I go, what's the throwdown? And he goes, that's where at between 2 and 3 in the morning, when the waitress gets frustrated and she just said, that's it, I quit. She rips off her apron and throws it down on the floor and said, I'm leaving. And she walks out and they all applaud. I go, that's the throwdown. Okay.
Okay. Never heard of this. I guess I'm going to go to Waffle House enough.
So my little journey there is maybe you are in the process of a throwdown right now. Maybe you have had it with your job right now, and it's time to have the retirement conversation. I have a list here of the reasons and the ways that you know it is time to retire. I'm going to just zip through them real fast, and then you're going to tell me which ones that you've seen. Number one, work is just not fulfilling anymore. Number two, the tech fatigue. Oh, more software I have to learn. Thank you very much.
That one will push you right out.
God, I can't stand it. If I have to do one more piece of software to track results, I'm going to scream.
A recent client's like, I am leaving my job, Randy, because if I'm more technology, it's pushing me to want to retire and not deal with it.
I know. And I mean, the fact that we stopped working in the office for COVID and then we went home and we realized, hey, we can really do this. And now they all want you to come back. Then it's like, nah.
Do you know how many clients says, Charisse, I'm going back to my Franklin Covey. I'm tired of these Google calendars and Outlook calendars. I just want my calendar to just drive with and see and make it all colorful. It's so funny. I remember those days.
I want a day timer. Give me a day timer. All right, here's another one. Promotions don't mean anything anymore. They come to you and they say, we'll give you a little extra money or we'll give you a new title. And you're like, it's not moving me. And here's the one I think that you really start to see. I mean, when you love your job, I love my job and I get excited to get back to work. But when Sunday hits and you're going, oh my God, I can't believe I got to get up at 6 again tomorrow morning. I can't stand it. I can't do this one more day. That's a sign. That's another sign. That's another sign. You're always checking your retirement accounts. How many people have you come in and they say, I used to do this like once a month. Now I'm doing it every day.
Yeah. And then they're just waiting to hit a certain number. And then they turn in their keys.
There
like,
it is.
Once it gets to $1 million, we're calling Charisse. Listen, if you're at 950, just go ahead and call. And hey, you might only be at 850. Go ahead and call. We might be able to get you retired sooner. Don't wait for that number.
All right. Remember when you were the youngest person in the office? And now you're the oldest person in the office. And all the people that are coming in and the younger people are now your boss and things like that. I get that. The other hobbies and volunteering dominate your thoughts. You sit there in your cubby and you look out the window and go, oh, I could be out there. I don't want to be in here. That's another one.
For some people, this is all day long. It doesn't matter what age you are nowadays.
That's the truth. You're jealous of your friends that are retired. Your boss has become unbearable, and you're just tired. Now, this So my wife has two brothers, and they're twins, actually, and they're a couple of years younger than her. So they're in their just about getting to their mid-60s. And one of them texted the other day, and he said, I can no longer keep up with the demands of this job and the increasing demands of this job. And, you know, baby boomers, they have been a really good worker, and they have put work ahead of family in many cases.
Yes.
And we have been that generation that has done the overtime and done the stuff that we weren't really asked to do because we wanted to succeed. And now it's starting to come back to bite us a little bit here. And we're getting pretty tired because they keep piling on the work, Charisse.
I know.
I know you've seen that.
I have. And, you know, baby boomer generation, God bless, you know, you work like two people. Yeah. Honestly.
Or more.
Exactly or more, just like what you just said. And you can't get that kind of work person because you know why the people today are like, no, I want to spend more time with my family. When I leave at 5, I'm leaving at 4:59.
And I get it. I think they're right. I really do.
I think there is a health to that, you know, because one of the biggest things we do hear about the baby boomer generation is that they, especially the spouses that worked so hard for their families to get them where they want. They miss so much time with family and their kids. And, you know, now they're just enjoying their grandkids and there's a lot of remorse. And so the kids today, the adult children are like, I don't want to be like dad. I don't want to be like mom. So I want to make sure I have freedom and flexibility, and I'm going to work. I'm going to do my job, but I'm not going to work till 9 p.m. I'm not going to come in at 6, right? So things are changing because of what they saw their families go through.
And I think for the better. I really do in many ways.
I do too. I do too. I think it's for the health of our universe. People are going to live longer because of it. Might even sustain staying in jobs longer. So there's a lot of goodness that's going to come out of that. But we do appreciate our baby boomers, such workhorses, and really did more than they should have.
But if you're at the throwdown, if you're ready, if it's over with, hey, this is a sign. It's a sign for you to come in to see Charisse. Let's do the math on your retirement. If she gives you the green light and she said, you're obviously ready, your money is ready too. And if you got that news that you're ready and your money is ready, now you're in that powerful position that you can leave when you want to. And I think that's a great position to be in. Give Charisse a call. Let's get you that power. It's 833-368-3680. 833-368-3680 or the website ZinniaWealth.com, ZINNIA Wealth.com. There's a gold box there. Click on it. It says Complimentary Retirement Consultation. That's exactly what it is. It's a no-cost, no-obligation meeting about your retirement. Charisse, that is all the time that we have on this one. I'll give you the last word.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you dearly. I hope you're enjoying the weekend. And as usual, live by design and not by default. And we'll see you here next week.
This has been Retirement Coffee Talk. To find out more about how the strategies we've discussed on this program can build the retirement you've been wanting, call Zinnia Wealth at 352-368-3680 or visit us online at ZinniaWealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, a registered investment advisor. The firm only conducts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded from registration requirements. Registration is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Insurance products are offered through Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC, Florida license L078655, and Charisse Rivers, Florida license P037744. Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, and Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC are affiliated entities. The information presented is believed to be current. It should not be viewed as personalized investment advice. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of the presenter on the date of the podcast and are subject to change. The information presented is not an offer to buy or sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy or sell any of the securities discussed. You should consult with a professional advisor before implementing any of the strategies discussed. Any legal or tax information provided in this podcast is general in nature. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation. Any client experience discussed on this show are unique to that client. Annuity and life insurance guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. If you withdraw money from or surrender your contract within a certain time after investing, the insurance company may assess a surrender charge. Withdrawals may be subject to tax penalties and income taxes. Persons selling annuities or other insurance products receive compensation for these transactions. These commissions are separate and distinct from fees charged for advisory services. Insurance products also contain additional fees and expenses. Social Security rules and regulations are subject to change at any time. Always consult with your local Social Security office before acting upon any information provided herein. References to specific investments should not be construed as being past specific recommendations. The returns for various indices discussed in this podcast do not represent the performance of the firm or any of its advisory clients. Returns do not reflect the impact that advisory fees will have on an investment. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All investment strategies have potential for profit or loss. Different types of investments involve higher and lower levels of risk. There is no guarantee that a specific investment strategy will be suitable or profitable for an investor's portfolio. Historical performance returns for investment indexes and or categories usually do not deduct transaction and or custodial charges or advisory fees, which would decrease historical performance results. There are no guarantees that a portfolio will match or outperform a specific benchmark. Investments in fixed income products are subject to liquidity risk, market risk, index rate risk, credit risk, inflation risk, purchasing power risk, and taxation risk. Because bond prices fluctuate continually, their yields change constantly.